Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are back for some more multiplayer action in the deserts of Kharak. Continuing on with the Artifact Cup 19. We are in the round of 16 and we are about to head into match 2. So let's jump right into the game. This is going to be PayDay versus Sylum. Game 1 is going to be on Firebase Krill. Let's jump in, and it is going to be a Knef versus Soban, a matchup that I really like and I haven't cast in quite some time. And a map I really like, as a matter of fact, and I also haven't cast this map in quite some time either. Now, if you follow Deserts of Kharak lately, you should be familiar with both of these players. They've both been pretty active in the scene over the past couple of months. And although I don't think I've ever seen or cast a game where they play each other, from what I've seen of these two players, they are pretty evenly matched. So I expect some pretty interesting plays here. So you guys know the routine. We're going to do player introductions and then jump right into the action. Let me just get my bearings on the map. So that's south. Well, we'll call this north. So spawning on the north side of Firebase Krill, it is going to be PayDay, playing as the Soban forces and using the default color scheme. Pretty cool. Very sexy carrier. And his opponent spawning on the south side of Firebase Krill, it is going to be Sylum playing as the Knef. Pretty interesting green color scheme. One thing I gotta say that I really like about the Knef is that regardless of the color scheme that you choose, the base color of their units always stays the same. And I really like that, actually. It gives them kind of like this desert feel, you know. They've got like this rusted, kind of oxidized look to all their vehicles, and it's super cool. And they have the best looking carrier in the entire game. Arguably the best looking single unit in any RTS in history. Argue that if you want. Now, let's take a look at what both of our players are doing. Sadly, because of the limitations of the replay viewer, I can't see the tech choices for Sylum, so we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled on what he's doing and read the plays from there. But it looks like PayDay has gone for Support Cruiser first. Typically a pretty safe build, especially on this map and especially with the current meta in Deserts of Kharak. So he's saturated his main, he's got a Support Cruiser, he's beginning resourcing at his closest expansion site, and he will have saturated that momentarily. He did recycle his base runner just to get that Support Cruiser out a little bit quickly, but he does have a drone here, just keeping tabs on mid. I imagine that he has scouted Sylum, and he's seen that Sylum is long-hauling resources from his second expansion site. He doesn't have any units on the field, so this tells me he's either going for a tech build or he is going for refinery mode, and it looks like a tech build it is because his second support cruiser has just popped onto the field, and with no sand skimmers on the field, that is going to be assault ships or assault railguns. We'll just have to wait and see what it is. Now, the double production cruiser builds. PayDay needs to scout this, and he needs to scout it fast, because the fact that this is going to be a tech build with double production cruisers means he needs to get railguns on the field ASAP, and he's only now beginning to produce LAVs. He does have the one armor upgrade for LAVs, which is a curious choice, seeing as how he's only producing 4, and he has rebuilt his base runner. So that's another curious choice. Typically, if you recycle your starting base runner and build a probe from that base runner, you're not going to build another base runner so quickly. So it looks like he's going to try and grab an artifact, screening with his LAVs. But he must have scouted this by now. He has scouted it. His probe went up here, saw the 2 production cruisers, and it's coming back. There he goes. He doesn't know which direction it's coming from, but he has scouted it now, and there are assault ships in production. This could potentially be very big trouble for PayDay. He's just finishing AAV fabrication. I mean, he can hold this, but he needs to get an AAV on the field right away, and just a couple maybe, and just smoke this and try and buy time to get railguns on the field. He needs railgun fabrication right now. He does not need to be producing more LAVs. Oh boy, PayDay is in big trouble. Okay, he's finally got railgun fabrication underway. That's good. This support cruiser is bad, though. I don't mean to, you know, harshly critique a player or anything, but if, for the sake of education, if you see this, don't don't be greedy. You can't be greedy. At this point in the game, PayDay is in for serious, serious trouble. He needs to get armed logistics modules out here, 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 and he needs to get a couple of AAVs to smoke this and just start pumping railguns. I do like that he's bringing his carrier back here. That's exactly what you want to do. A nice ALM in the back here. Oh, bad place for that support cruiser to spawn. Oh, man. Oh, wow. I see what PayDay was doing. He was rushing power reserve upgrades. So that's pretty cool. He was able to grab an artifact, which is good. That gives him quite a bit of power to play with here. However, this is not good. He is definitely 100%, without question. All of these salvages are toast. Definitely one support cruiser, probably both are toast. And he's building railguns now. That's good, but what isn't good is he's got the tail end of his carrier right on top of all these assault ships. So when his railguns spawn, they're just going to get immediately decimated by all of these assault ships. All 6 of these salvagers are gone. Oh, yeah. So Sylum picks up the railgun. You can see him focus firing there. Very, very nice response. And now this support cruiser's toast. This is a decent play, though. I mean, using his carrier to bully these units around. What he wants to do, though, is push his carrier into the units and kind of separate them and force them away from his other units, and then turn his carrier around and start spawning railguns back here. He's in a pretty desperate situation, though. Both of his support cruisers are toast. All of these salvagers are toast, and he has very, very little income. Nice move, though. On the back of that, he was actually able to micro 2 combats at once, so props to him for that. He has come in with these LAVs. He's cleaned up all of these salvagers. Looks like he's even cleaned up all of these salvagers, so he's actually evened things out quite a bit. So this game isn't technically over. Oh man, all of these salvagers are toast as well. I mean, he can run, but what he needs to do is draw these away, keep his carrier back here, and start resourcing again if he has any hope of staying in this game. If he loses these, oh man, I don't know what he can do. He needs to start mining, though. He needs to start mining desperately. Now, he was able to grab an artifact. He is going to grab a second, so that's pretty good. And he was able to clean up all of these salvagers, so it looks like we actually have a stalemate here again. I mean, these assault ships can't really kill this carrier, so yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, these two players. It is definitely a stalemate, guys. I've never ever seen this before. Both players have no salvagers mining, have very, very little income, and Sylum's units can't kill PayDay, but PayDay's units can't kill Sylum. So yeah, PayDay was able to actually grab a second artifact and is going for a third. That is hilarious. But once again, I think PayDay is just going to lose all of his salvagers. He's going to lose his armed logistics modules, and he's going to be stuck with no money and no supply and no way of building any units or increasing his supply whatsoever. So, I mean, what can he do? He can send his carrier out and try and snipe Sylum's carrier, because he actually might be able to win in a one-on-one carrier war, since Sylum does not have any power and PayDay does. So I think, like, honestly, if he doesn't do that, he's toast. There's nothing he can do. Yeah, all of these salvages are done. He's slowly picking off these assault ships, which is nice, but that's going to take forever. Is he going to get another artifact? What a strange game. What a very, very strange game. The problem here for PayDay is that Sylum is mining and has the proper units to hold off everything that PayDay has. So, to be honest, I don't think, like, outside of some utter insanity where PayDay somehow grabs 5 artifacts and wins, I don't think he can win this game. All Sylum needs to do is just get more salvagers. He can even probably recycle a couple of these assault ships, build more salvagers, and just start mining, and then go and kill PayDay, because PayDay has nothing. Looks like Sylum has spotted the play. He's going to intercept this base runner and try and take it down before it delivers the artifact. Considering the distance, that's pretty likely. And these LAVs can't do anything. They should probably do exactly what they're doing. I like this. He should just recycle all of these units, build a couple of salvagers. However, I think that's too little too late. I don't think that PayDay can come back from this, to be honest with you. It's just a matter of time. So both players recycling some of their units to try and get their economies back underway. I mean, it still could go either way, but I think this game is going to go to Sylum if I had to make a judgment call. And I know I typically don't do this, but I'm just going to actually fast forward in this replay a little bit, just to see kind of what happens. I don't think we need to watch for 5-10 minutes as these players kind of reestablish their economies. If this ends up actually becoming an even game again, I will be very, very shocked. Now, there are railguns coming onto the field for PayDay, so that's good. He can shut down these assault ships. If he can get his economy underway and get his unit production up, I mean, he can get back into this. What do we have here, though? We do have production cruiser refinery mode is up. So Sylum mining at full efficiency off of 2 resource locations. And what is he doing? Oh lord, he has got a siege cruiser in production. So yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. He's sending out his carrier to go hunting. Did build a base runner, if I saw that correctly. Yes, he did. So his base runner is going to start producing blast drones. That's cool. And it's going to grab an artifact. So I think what his plan might be is to try and grab an artifact and use that to draw PayDay's units away. And then with this little sneaky force over here, pop out a siege cruiser, put power into missiles, and then go for the carrier kill. It looks like exactly what he's doing, and that's a really, really nice play. So I gotta say, a well-executed double production cruiser tech build. I like that. I like that he went assault ships. I like that he had 1 armor as he hit, and I like that he transitioned out of that into refinery mode. It's really nice. And he followed up with siege cruisers, so a pretty darn well-executed Knef build. I gotta give him props for that. And I feel like PayDay's biggest mistake was not scouting quickly enough and not responding quickly enough. And if you're losing to a double production cruiser build, that is typically the reason why. You need to scout it and you need to respond appropriately. A couple more railguns onto the field, but a nice big barrage from that siege cruiser. That is going to be trouble right there. A couple of missiles coming in from the Knef carrier as well. So I think we're about to witness the end of game 1. And it is going to go to Sylum. So if PayDay wants to stay in this series, he needs to bring out a win for the next game. There was an artifact that went in. So Sylum was able to grab an artifact. That base runner's toast, though. Sneaky, sneaky. PayDay has a base runner of his own on the field. He's going to try and grab another artifact. I like it. He's not giving up. And there is a chance that it could work, but the chance is minuscule at best. With a siege cruiser right on top of you and a Knef carrier with several units of power into missiles. I would say probably 3 at this point. 3 indeed. There's just not much that PayDay can do. And it looks like his carrier is going to go down here momentarily. I mean, he does have a few railguns. This siege cruiser is in a bit of trouble. But with the Knef carrier there and the missiles, he can just kill each of these. Oh, the siege cruiser actually goes down. Wow. Nice play by PayDay. But his carrier is dangerously close to death. And each of these railguns can be destroyed with a single volley, 3 missiles. So he's going to run for it. I feel like this game should have been over already. Not in any offensive way to any of the players. Valiant defense by PayDay, and a really well executed build by Sylum. But he is gonna try and run. But I mean, like, all of these salvagers. There's a support cruiser way back here. This is all dead, pretty much. That's dead. This is dead. Boom, there goes that railgun. And more railguns in production from PayDay. But there's another siege cruiser in production for Sylum, and the problem is Sylum is just sitting back here happily mining off of 2 resource locations. Well, PayDay is mining off nothing and has no way of getting any more economy. And once these 3 units that he's got on the field, 4 units, are done, he's done. So, oh, that siege cruiser, nice barrage right here would be super, super sweet, I gotta say. Let's see if he does that. A couple of sand skimmers coming in from Sylum to clean up these railguns. Nice play. PayDay was actually able to secure a 3rd artifact and is going for a 4th, so I think what he's hoping to do is just run for long enough that he can get 5 artifacts, but I don't think it's going to work. There are sand skimmers all on top of these railguns. They're all dead, and there is a siege cruiser and a Knef carrier that are hunting this Soban carrier. Let's just skip forward a little bit, guys. We know the outcome of this game. Ooh, a couple of really, really nice missile hits there from Sylum. And the Knef carrier is just like a shark in the water hunting its prey. Looking super menacing. They have spotted it. A few more missiles and this carrier is going to go down. Just want to see the final explosion. Oh, a nice barrage there. Oof. This is it, guys. Those 3 missiles are going to end the game. So game 1 is going to go to Sylum. Very, very well played. Valiant defeat, or valiant defense by PayDay, rather. So this is going to go into game 2. And if PayDay wants to stay in the series, he is going to have to bring out a win on this next game. And what is it going to be? We are going to be on Galcian territories. Let's head right into game 2. I feel like if PayDay would have just scouted a little bit sooner and read the scouting information a little bit more accurately, he would have been totally fine. He did have some nice unit positioning, some nice micro, made some really good choices as well. So let's see how this game turns out. This time we'll be watching from the perspective of Sylum, who is going to, of course, be playing as the Knef, and he is spawning on the north side, I know that now, by heart, of Galcian territories, one of my favorite maps, simply because of how damn sexy it looks, man. This map has some really, really cool weather effects, some really nice lighting. I like it a lot. The terrain is pretty damn cool, and it's fun to play on. So his opponent, once again, spawning on the south side of Galcian territories, it is going to be PayDay, who for some reason or another has decided to switch factions and play Coalition. Now, I didn't know you could actually do this in one round of the tournament. I thought you were locked in factions, but perhaps they just had a gentleman's agreement or whatever. So PayDay is going to be playing as the Coalition. Let's see what kind of build orders these players are going for. Alright, so Sylum has already finished sand skimmer fabrication, so that was very, very early sand skimmer fabrication. He's saturated his main almost. He's got 4 on CUs, 1 on RUs, and another 2 more on CUs, so it looks like he's probably going to be doing some sand skimmer blast drone shenanigans. He does have his base runner moving out into the center of the map, about to try and secure one of the artifacts. And with sand skimmer fabrication done so soon, I can't see him not investing in a few sand skimmers. Now what's PayDay going to get up to? He does have a drone, or a probe out on the field, so he will have spotted the forward base runner. That means he should be prepared for some blast drones. There aren't any on the field, and there aren't any in production by the looks of it, so who knows? He does have a support cruiser on the field, so once again it is support cruiser first. Looks like he has saturated his starting location, and he is now beginning to mine resources at full efficiency from his second. So again, the economic opener from PayDay, typically pretty safe as the Coalition. We don't have any blast drones on the field still, so it's just going to be an early artifact grab. Oh wow, look at this. This is absolutely unusual. We have got a single production cruiser moving out onto the map, and it's producing sand skimmers. This is like the old school Galcian build, the single production cruiser sand skimmer rush. Typically you don't see that too much these days because it's so easy to shut down. This build was kind of nerfed early on in Deserts of Kharak, so it has been spotted, and PayDay is making the right choice. Oh wow, he's already got LAVs, AAVs, and halfway finished railgun fabrication. So he's bringing his carrier back to see this off, and that is definitely the right choice. With only, what is this, 3, 4, 5, 6 sand skimmers on the field, that's not enough to do any appreciable damage. With this carrier here, with a support cruiser here, and with a couple of LAVs now coming onto the field, this is going to get shut down. I would be shocked if it even got a single salvager kill. That support cruiser can just typically heal through this number of sand skimmers, especially when there is one level of power. There isn't. I swear I saw healing beams coming out of that carrier. If you're in that situation, just put healing beams on your carrier, and with that and a support cruiser, you'll be fine. And now the tables have turned. Oh boy, PayDay is actually mining off of two resource locations at full efficiency. He has 4 LAVs and an AAV on the field now. No armor upgrades. What is he producing though? He's producing a couple more AAVs by the looks of it. So this is pretty dangerous. Sylum is in a tough spot now. If PayDay pushes out with this, he can actually probably counterattack and do a fair bit of damage. Both players able to secure a single artifact. So keeping it tied up at 1-1. Sylum going for a second. But he is in a lot of trouble here. There's 3 AAVs, 4 LAVs on the field. What else is coming out? Another base runner for Sylum. That's pretty, or for PayDay, pardon me. That's pretty strange. So 2 base runners. I wonder if he's going to go for some turret shenanigans here. I can't see what he has researched, so I won't be able to tell you. Oh, nice flank though by these LAVs right on top of these assault railguns. Nice unit choice from Sylum. I do like it. Unfortunately, these LAVs just got right on top of this production cruiser and picked off 2 assault railguns. They're now going to pick off these sand skimmers, and Sylum is in big trouble here. Jesus, PayDay's even pushing forward with his carrier and has another base runner? The hell, 3 base runners? No, that's 2. Okay, so 2 base runners. These AAVs are chasing down this base runner. It's going to be so close. He stopped. Oh, man. So nice pickup for PayDay here. PayDay looking much stronger out of the gate here. A turret does go down, but that's going to get... Oh, it doesn't get picked off. Holy crap. That was clutch, actually. Almost got taken off by this assault railgun, which is going to finish cleaning up those LAVs, and is definitely the right unit choice for what's on the field. The assault railgun will help Sylum hold against AAVs as well as LAVs. We do have another support cruiser on the field. Very interesting. So PayDay with a nice play. He's read that he has dominance, he has map control, so he wants to expand his economy aggressively. I mean, he can go directly up to 3 bases, or he can just push with his carrier at this point. Pump out a bunch of railguns and push right in, and he might be able to take this game for a win. But that's all going to come down to what Sylum is doing. What is he doing? He doesn't have refinery mode yet. He's sticking with a single production cruiser, and I think this is a mistake, to tell you the truth. In this situation, what you want to do is defend with some railguns, and you want to get either a second production cruiser and outproduce your opponent with units, or you want to get refinery mode and expand your economy aggressively. Those are like the 2 things you definitely want to do. What you do not want to do is try and fight off this force with a single production cruiser. Now he's doing pretty damn good with these assault railguns though, able to kite and take out pretty much all of these LAVs. These AAVs will not be able to push out here, but PayDay is going to push forward with his carrier backed up by some railguns, and that's going to be big trouble for Sylum. Just picking off those LAVs pretty nice. He wants to get these assault railguns the hell out of dodge though. Screened by some sand skimmers, it's pretty nice. If he can get these sand skimmers on top of these railguns, oh man, he needs to do something about this carrier though. Look at how PayDay is just using this carrier as like a blunt instrument. Very effective strategy. Oh man, It has got some serious power too. 2 in weapons and 1 in range. So it's actually a weapon, a pretty powerful weapon of its own right, and backed up by some AAVs and railguns. This is pretty scary. Now this production cruiser just has to run for the hills. And meanwhile, oh boy, you know the game is going south when you have to do a desperation carrier push. Finally a second production cruiser in the queue for Sylum. But it looks like we've got a fight on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a fight that Sylum does not want to take in his current situation. He has got nothing on the field to deal with this right now. PayDay's carrier is out for revenge, man. PayDay was not screwing around. He definitely had the right play to answer what Sylum threw at him in this game. And I like to see Sylum being the aggressor yet again. And I like to see him switching it up with a different build order. But I feel like the single production cruiser kind of rush build needs to hit way earlier. And even then, it can be pretty like damn difficult to pull off. That build was nerfed, like I mentioned before. Now Sylum is in big trouble here. Oh man, AAVs right on top of your salvagers. PayDay wants to get these AAVs right in here and just start wrecking Sylum's economy. Those 4 AAVs, if they just get in among these salvagers, it's totally over. It looks like it's not far from being over anyway. Now a serious amount of damage has actually been done to PayDay's carrier. And it's forcing him to retreat. The problem is all of these units right on top of Sylum. His production cruiser is definitely going to go down. Did he lose his other one? He did. So without any production cruisers, this game is definitely over. One single railgun popping shots into Sylum's carrier. All of these salvagers going down, this production cruiser going down. Looks like PayDay is able to come back and take a win out of game 2. That's pretty nice. Look at this Knef carrier just wrecking these AAVs, man. It's just a matter of time, though. These AAVs are in among the salvagers. They're cleaning them up. Backed up by a few LAVs. These salvagers are all toast. And now PayDay... Holy crap, he was able to secure 2 more artifacts on the back of that, going for a 4th even. So his carrier is going to be pretty damn beastly. Look at that. 3 levels of power in range and 2 in weapons. A couple of railguns just popping shots into this Knef carrier. A pretty nice logistics module for scouting. I like that. That's a sweet play. I like splitting up your railguns a little bit. I like splitting them up even a little bit more. Look at this, one missile is going to be able to hit all 3 of these railguns. So that's kind of never a position you want to be in. But I think it's just moments away from Sylum's carrier going down. So it looks like PayDay is going to come back and take a win on game 2. And that's going to force a 3rd game out of this series. So I'm pretty damn excited for that. Again, well played to both players. And I feel like in the same sense that the first game was a build order win, I feel like this game was a build order lose. To tell you the truth. But well played by both players, and congratulations to PayDay for picking up a win in game 2. That's going to force it into game 3. Now let's jump in. I love tiebreakers. They are typically the most exciting games. And it's going to be on the Shallows. Oh, look at this. And now Sylum is switching factions. That's hilarious. I'm pretty sure you can't do this in the tournament, but maybe they had a gentleman's agreement, or maybe they just don't know and don't care. But that's pretty funny. So Sylum is going to be rolling Galcian, and PayDay is going to be rolling Coalition. So the classic Coalition versus Galcian matchup, and it's going to be on one of the newest maps in the pool, the Shallows. All right, we are on PayDay's perspective once again. So let's check the map here. Pardon me. We're going to call this South, just for simplicity's sake. Spawning on the south side of the Shallows, we have PayDay once again, bringing the Coalition fleet into battle. And his opponent, once again, spawning on the north side of the Shallows. It is going to be Sylum, who's now playing as the Galcian. Pretty darn interesting. and a pretty cool color scheme as well. It actually kind of fits for this map, to be honest. It's kind of funny. And the map is the Shallows, one of the bigger maps in north-south travel distance. This map is really well set up for economic build orders, so I would be surprised if Sylum doesn't go directly for production cruiser refinery mode. I feel like it would be remiss of him to do so. Likewise, from what we've seen from PayDay so far, he will be going support cruiser first, and yes, he is. So on this map in particular, that is arguably the best build. I mean, look at how defensible this starting location is. There's literally no reason why you don't want to go for an economic build and then push your carrier and park it right here. Like exactly what we see PayDay doing right now. And then you could pretty easily defend both of these mining locations with a handful of units and your carrier. So really nice. I feel like this map definitely favors PayDay's style of play. So we'll see if he can leverage that to good use. Now, what have we got going on? I can't tell what tech PayDay has been researching, but I mean, it's got to be either 2 production cruisers, which are not in the queue, or refinery mode, and it looks like, I hope it's going to be refinery mode. What in the hell is going on here? There is a... Maybe that was a bad rally point. There's a salvager way up in the middle of the field, and PayDay has scouted it and is probably laughing. This is really weird. I keep seeing PayDay do this. He's recycling his base runner, building a probe, and then building another base runner and building a probe. That's like a net loss economically, because this is 100. This is 100. That's 250. Right there is 450. You get 137 for returning your base runner. So, or like 187 maybe. I don't know. Either way, this is a net loss economically. So I feel like you don't really need to do this. Just as a minor tip for PayDay, if you're watching, that's what I would recommend. Just don't bother recycling your base runner at the bat, or off the bat. It doesn't help you get your support cruiser that much faster. It's only a few seconds, and if you're just going to rebuild your base runner and build a second probe, just keep your base runner at the beginning. PayDay, what is he doing? He has got LAVs coming onto the field. No upgrades yet. No other tech chosen yet. Pretty strange. He is going for an early artifact grab. I do like that, and I do like his LAV positioning. He does have a forward. His scouting network is actually really amazing. He's got these 2 drones watching mid and watching the left side, while these 2 LAVs cover the right side, and then 2 LAVs hanging back, just watching for some potential shenanigans. A very ballsy scanner from Sylum right into the middle of the map. Now, he does have a base runner on the field. He is going to go grab an artifact of his own. He does have production cruiser refinery mode, the correct choice, definitely on this map. And he has brought his carrier out. So both players keeping pace economically. I like to see this, especially when you get to a game 3. Players aren't taking any chances, so we're pretty likely to see a more macro game, a little bit more tension, and a little bit closer. If I was to make a prediction. Still no upgrades. Now, a little bit of harassment from these LAVs. It is going to force Sylum's base runner back. He doesn't have any units on the field, which is pretty surprising. There we go. Oh man, ballsy. This is as greedy of a build as you can possibly ever do. He went production cruiser refinery mode into another production cruiser. Now, if there's a map that you can get away with it, it's this map, because you can use your Galcian carrier as a weapon to help hold off any kind of harassment like this. This is going to be pretty damn close. Is this base runner going to live, or is it not going to live? Galcian carrier will absolutely wreck all of these LAVs. It's just a matter of time. Will they wreck them fast enough? And it looks like the answer is yes. Look at that. Even a couple of salvaging, like demolition charges coming out from those salvagers. That was a pretty fancy play from Sylum, I gotta say. I like that a lot. Now, on the back of this, what is going on PayDay's side of the field? It's railguns. Now, both players, again, keeping pace economically. We do have double support cruisers and double production cruisers. Both players mining fully on 3 resource locations now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a game, it looks like. do have LAV into Railgun for PayDay. Oh, PayDay has 2 base runners on the field again. He's doing this 2 base runner thing. Now he's going to be able to, Sylum's going to be able to grab a first artifact. PayDay is going to grab a second. That means it is going to be 2-1. Not too big of a gap that you cannot close. And especially when we're both sitting on 3 resourcing locations. The question is, what is this? Oh my, Sylum has gone straight for interceptors, it looks like. Very, very interesting. Oh boy, these railguns are just going to make it. They are just going to cut off this base runner. It looks like it might be a 2-0 now in terms of artifacts, but this is ballsy again, sending out 2 railguns without any cover. I mean, he doesn't have any scouting information far enough ahead to know that Sylum has no sand skimmers, so he could throw these in the trash pretty easily with a move like that, but he was able to clean up that base runner, so it looks like PayDay has secured himself a 2-0 lead. Pretty good position to be in. But it looks, oh my god, look at all of this. We have 6 interceptors already for Sylum, so man, this is a super ballsy move. Sylum is so vulnerable right now, but he is teched directly to mass air. Do we have any missile ships? We don't. We have another support cruiser coming. We've got AAV fabrication on the way and a ton of LAVs in the queue for PayDay. So with no anti-air really on the field, it looks like PayDay might be in a lot of trouble, although does he have support cruiser anti-air? It looks like he's researching it right now, almost as if he has some kind of prescience for Sylum's suspiciously quiet side of the map. Like, I mean, he's got enough scouting information to know that there is nothing really on Sylum's side of the field, so he has to suspect something's up. So a good read from PayDay, getting that support cruiser anti-air. He wants to get some missile batteries though. I mean, if you don't see any ground units and you're going into this late stage of the game, you have to know something's coming up, and it's going to be cruisers or mass air. And in this case, it is mass air. Look at this, 9 interceptors. Jesus Christ. There we go. I was just about to say, I think Sylum is going to miss his window of opportunity if he doesn't act now. He wants to get these interceptors out on the field and clean up all these railguns, and then follow with some assault ships and push into PayDay's resourcing with some assault ships. That would be absolutely epic. It looks like all of the railguns are going to get cleaned up. This base runner is going to get cleaned up. So that's going to prevent a 3-0 lead. Really, really nice play. Is it though? Oh my god, don't tell me it's not. Oh! Holy shit, how many hit points does that base runner have? Oh my god, 94 hit points left, and he's able to secure a 3-0 lead, so PayDay in a pretty commanding position. He does have a 3rd support cruiser on the field, and he's pushing up with his carrier now. And he's just going to start spamming railguns. There we go, he's got missile battery research, and he's pumping out some missile batteries, so that's going to be pretty darn good here. And with a little bit of light AAV, or light anti-air fire from these LAVs, as well as from this base runner, he should be able to clean up all of these interceptors once those missile batteries hit the field. But it looks like we're gearing up for a carrier showdown. What is Sylum still has all 9 interceptors, shockingly enough. Oh, 1 goes down, 8, 7. Oh man, what do we got for power here? 2 in weapons, 1 in speed, 3 in weapons, 2 in range, plus a bunch of railguns and a missile battery backing this up. So this is a fight that Sylum does not want to take. He needs to get something into the field right now, but what can he do? He's got no tech research that I can see, nothing in production, and only 4 interceptors on the field. So it looks like PayDay might actually come back from that loss and take this entire series. And again, with the battering ram carrier, look at all these base runners. How many base runners does he have on the field? 3 base runners now. And he's about to grab his 4th artifact. So I'm having deja vu from the last game here. Sylum is boxed in with his carrier, and PayDay is on the advance. He has a 4-0 lead in terms of artifacts. He's got one hell of a beastly carrier right on Sylum's doorstep, and it looks like he is going to clean house here. This location is going to get shut down. That location is going to get shut down. Backed up by a couple of missile batteries and railguns, there's pretty much nothing that Sylum can do outside of some desperation airstrikes here. That is not going to be very effective, though. Look at this carrier just bucking off shots in every direction. Right up in here. I'm going to call it, guys. PayDay is going to take this game and the series. Yep. Sylum's carrier is about to go down in a spectacular explosion, and PayDay is definitely going to take this match. So, very well played by both players. You like it. Once again, it comes down to build orders, man. All three of these games were build order wins and build order losses, I have to say. On Sylum's part, actually, the ball was always in his court, and when he lost because of his choice in build order, and when he won because of his choice in build order. So, I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. If you did, smash that thumbs up and let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments if you have any feedback or suggestions, and I will see you guys for the next round.